What's up, everybody? It's Airsoft Gear Review coming back at you guys with another quick video. Today I want to talk about Joule creep and how to find the perfect BB weight for your airsoft gun. So let's get straight into it. A lot of misconception actually about Joule creep. I'm surprised there is a lot of material out there online about this to try to help explain it. Some of the videos I noticed are really old though. When I looked it up just now, the top couple searched results were from like 5 or 7 years ago. Really good videos though. They do explain it correctly. But I guess maybe I can give maybe a different version of the information that I'm not sure. Maybe it'll be more digestible for you guys. Saying it the way I say it, I don't know if I'm any better than those guys, but anyways, without further ado, let's get into it, guys. About Joule creep. So I'm hearing a lot of different things about what people think Joule creep is, but a consensus among all the people that aren't understanding what it is that they think that BBs all come out the same force, you know, until you change your gun. That's not the case, and that's why we want to talk about Joule creep, is because all you really need to change to get a different Joule value on most systems, pretty much every system. When you change the BB weight that you're shooting, you will get a different Joule amount. Now, it might not be a great increase, it might be a small increase for your system, and that just means that your system is, you know, properly volumed more or less for the weight that you were using in your experiment. So let me talk about this a little bit. When you have a system, let's talk about this. Talking to one guy earlier, and he was kind of trying to compare it to real steel, and I guess that maybe is where the confusion is coming from. This is our airsoft guns are different from real steel in that the BBs are actually increasing in inertia. Or I'm sorry, I'm not saying. I don't know if I'm saying that right. They're increasing velocity and momentum as they go through the barrel. So yeah, I think momentum is really the best word to use, but that's just kind of getting nitpicky. But let's go ahead and explain what's going on. So here we have a barrel, and behind it, say this here. Let me go ahead and switch. You guys cannot see what I'm talking about. Let me switch over. This here is our barrel, and this here will be our cylinder. So guys, we have our cylinder here on the left, very nice looking cylinder, girthy. And then we have our skinny barrel, right? A little bit skinnier barrel, okay? And well, let's get our BB. Let's get our BB. So we have our BB. Let's do this. This red one will be our 0.2 BB, okay? Red is 0.2 BB. Just remember that, okay? So we're gonna use red for 0.2, and we'll use blue for 0.3, okay? Or 2.8 or whatever you know, higher weight, heavier weight. The blue one is our 3.0, the red one's our 2.0. So just remember that. So we have our red and we have our blue. They're the same size, and I'm sorry I made them different sizes. Let's get that down to the same size. I don't want to confuse anyone. Obviously they're the same size, 6mm, 6 point something. So we have our system, and we have air, where the air is going to be our green lines. We have air coming through. We have air coming through, getting pressed, and here we'll just have, this is our piston. Our piston is here, and it's pressing this way, to the right. Let me try to make an arrow. Okay, that didn't turn out good. Anyways, we have our piston, and it's jeez, I made a red. Our piston is pressing forward, and it's It's wider than that. It's quite a bit wider. Okay, there we go. There's our piston. Pressing in through the cylinder and pressing the air into the barrel bucking, whatever, and pushing our BB forward. So when the BB goes, this is our point 2. It's going through the barrel. It's going through the barrel. Boom, 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 bang, and it gets all the way to the end of the barrel. Okay, and the air is coming, and then it goes out the barrel. Okay, you with me so far? Good. The air. Here is the air. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, air coming out like that. Now you see how the air is coming out of the barrel after the BB is gone? The point 2 BB isn't heavy enough for this system. It has already left the barrel, and this air here hasn't got a chance to activate into the BB. It hasn't transferred any of its energy in, because the BB has left the barrel too soon or too fast. You could say both, probably, and it is in that you have extra air. You have extra air coming out and being wasted. It's just going to the atmosphere, right? So all you really needed was half that cylinder volume. So if you take off half of this, the bigger, how do I make this bigger? If you take out half of this backside, and you made your cylinder half as, you made it smaller, let's say. Can we make it, can we get the brush? Okay, we made it smaller, right? And then we have the piston here. Okay, we made it smaller because we didn't need all this extra air here. This extra air was wasted. So we only need this much air, right? So now, if we did it, there wouldn't be any wasted air. It would be properly volumed, quote unquote. Remember that. So it's if there's wasted air, it's over volumed. If there's no wasted air, it's just enough. That's properly volumed. And then when it's not enough air, okay, let's imagine that. Not enough air would be without all this. How do I get this bigger? How do I make this bigger? Okay. Should get my idea. Not enough air. Take all this air out. Boom, boom, bang. And not enough air means that the BB starts to slow down before it leaves the barrel. It actually starts to slow down right here because there's no more air. Boom, boom, boom. It's slowing down because it's hitting the edge of the barrel. It's got friction and there's no more air. Okay? That's called undervolumed. You don't want to do that, obviously. I mean, you don't want to. None of it's catastrophic, It doesn't really matter if you're shooting a little slower, a little faster at the end of the day. But anyways, let's talk about what the Joule creep means. So since this heavier BB, let's say that we're still over volumed. We still have the air coming out, right? I'm so bad at this. Still have air coming out. Boom, bang, bang, bang. Boom. Still have air coming out. But now we're going to use the 0.3 BB. So we have the 0.3 BB. It's coming. And now, since it's a heavier BB, it takes more air to accelerate. It takes more time to accelerate. It takes more. It absorbs more of the energy of the air. It absorbs more of the because it weighs more. It's going to have more momentum because of its weight. And to have more momentum, it takes more energy. So when you put the heavier weight BB in, now with the same system we had that was wasting air, with the big with the big cylinder, whatever. Sorry, make my cylinder big again. Okay, with the big cylinder, we had wasted air on the 0.2. Now we're using 0.3. Now just for the sake of we're not wasting air anymore. Okay. So what does that mean? What does that mean? We used all the air. What does that mean? If we used all the air on the 0.3 and we didn't use it all on the 2.0, that just means more energy into that BB, and that means more joules. So this BB comes out the barrel with just enough air, and it's flying at a higher joules than the 0.2 was. The 0.2 that we had on the same system had a lower joules because it didn't absorb as much of the energy. Now, yes, the 0.2 will have higher FPS. Obviously, it's a lighter BB, and some people are trying to say stuff about how the BBs fly after leaves the barrel. That's irrelevant. We're talking about the chrono here, and most people, why that's irrelevant, it's a little bit complicated, but it's because people won't shoot at the long. People shoot at their max. Say your MED's 20, you're gonna be shooting people probably around 20 feet, quite a bit. You're not gonna be shooting them all the time from 400 feet when you're a 20 MED. I mean, shit, your gun's not gonna shoot that far. Let's be realistic with that kind of FPS. So that's the reason we're talking about the chrono and how shit is chronoed. So if you're chronoing with 0.2s, now let's say this is a HPA rifle, whatever, or gas blowback rifle. Say this is a gas blowback rifle, which gas blowback rifles are notorious for being over volumed. Okay, they have a lot of air going through them, so it's recommended to use heavier BBs. Why is it recommended to use heavier BBs? Because you're going to get more joules. Because you're going to have more joules. And more joules means more range. Most of the time, when your hop up is working on a good day with a good hop up, okay, let's assume that. All right, it's going to be more range. It's going to be more performance. Your BBs are going to be they're flying, but they could be flying slower, but if it's more joules, it's going to, and a heavier BB, and it's more joules, it's going to catch up to the light BB, and probably a lot of the time may even pass it, because of the like people like to point out, it doesn't lose its energy as quickly because it's heavier, right? Momentum. Once again, but again, that just proves my point even more. The whole problem is that if you're chronoing at 0.2, and I take my gas blowback, whatever, and I go up to 3.6, say the blue is 3.6, I could jump an entire joule. You know what I mean? You don't believe that, but it's true. You can jump an entire joule. Or even worse for a sniper. The snipers have a little bit more, they push a little bit more air, so they have a little bit more joule creep. Think of it that way. They're over volumed a little bit more. So when a system is over volumed, it has excess air. If it has excess air, you're going to see joule creep by going up in weight. You're going to see more joules usually, pretty much all the time. You're going to see more joules, and you're going to get better performance. So to talk about the second part of my video, how do you find your best weight? How do you find the weight that you should be using? Is there a test for that? Yes. So let me break that down. It's very simple. All you're gonna do is go out there with a chrono, and you're gonna shoot a 0.2, and then you're gonna shoot and you're gonna check, and you're gonna have your chrono set for 0.2s, and you're gonna check the joules. What's the joules? Okay, 1 joule, whatever. Okay. And then you do a, let me type this out for you guys. So let's say the 0.2 is 1 joule. And then you do a 0.3, and let's just say your 0.3 was 1.5 joules. Okay, you're drill creeping, right? You have whatever, because you're over volumed, most likely. Most systems are. You know, some are under volumed. Pretty rare. Most are going to be either properly volumed or over volumed. Okay, so 1.5 joules. You get 1.5 joules with the 0.3. So you're like, oh, nice. I got an extra 0.5 joules by going up to that 0.3. I should probably use that instead of the 0.2. Yes, 100%. You should use the 0.3 because you got more joules. So you're probably getting the idea of how this test goes. Then you go up, weight again, up to whatever 0.36. The light blue will be our 0.36. We go up to that. You get what? 1.8 joules. What something? I don't know. This is just a rough estimate. Don't get caught up on the numbers here. You're going up in joules, okay? Up in joules as you go up in weight, okay? With an over volume system. Remember that, okay? Now, don't be the guy that comes out here and says, "Oh, well, my gun doesn't do that." That means it's either properly volumed or under volumed, okay? If you're going, "Oh, my gun goes down in when I go up in weight, it goes down in joules," okay? That means you are under volumed, okay? Relax there, kiddo. You're not proving anyone wrong. You're just making yourself look silly. Okay, so anyways, you go up weight to 3.6s, you're at 1.8 joules. Nice, okay, cool. I've got an even better BB to use. It's gonna perform better. Oh, down here we've got our 4.6s. Our 4.6s are the orange ones. Sorry for making the size different. I'm trying to get the size proper, but it's a little hard. So our 4.6s, you chrono. And what did you get? Let's say you got 1.6 joules. 1.6. Oh, so you notice you went down in joules from the 0.36 was better for me, right? Because you got more joules better, right? Yeah, it is. So, yes, the 3.6 is better for you, okay, in this scenario. Because it's the most joules out of all the ones you tested. Now, it wasn't the heaviest, it wasn't the lightest, but it was the most joules, so that's the one you need to be using. So that's how you find which BB you need to use. It's whichever one gives you the most joules, okay? Make it real simple for you. And that will be the one that is properly volumed. I said that like really like weirdly. Okay, that is the BB that will be proper for the volume you have, okay? So that you're not wasting any air, and you're not using, you're not needing exasperating over not having enough air. Okay, you have just enough. Okay, just enough. That 1.8 joule, the 3.6, and that's just an example. It could be any weight for you, but whatever. To get past all this, this is what joule creep is. It has to do with the air, and it has to do with the BB getting pushed by the air. And just remember that your BB is accelerating through your barrel. Until it runs out of air, it's going to be accelerating. Accelerate, boom. Okay? Now, if you ran out of air halfway through, it's going to accelerate, get to the halfway point, and then you run out of air, it'll start slowing down, okay? Just think of it like that, okay? Because there's not air escaping around the BB. It's actually just getting transferred into the BB, okay? So there's a little bit of air going around it, but most of it's getting transferred in, and that's how joule creep works. I hope you guys understand a little bit better how the joule creep works now, and I hope this guys will clear things up for you guys. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit that like and subscribe if you'd like. It's up to you. You're just starting out with my channel, and there will be more videos to come in the future. Gear reviews, maybe some gameplay and reactions, and informational videos. So guys, hope you guys enjoy this one. Stay safe out there and call your hits.